teleporting. Hey, look, there's an orb up there.
Okay, now go into the waterfall. First of all, get the door. Go into the waterfall.
Secret level.
Yeah.
Ooh. Interesting. Time deep. Okay then. Secret level.
We'll see.
Ooh. Heavy steps. Ragged breathing. There isn't much time left. It might already be too late. The labyrinthine pathways of arbitrary sharp turns seemed stranger and stranger as panic blotted out the once deeply ingrained memories that usually guided me. Every corner felt a stranger. Every straight line too long. The bell tolls for me. I bit down harder on the last of my rations, held only by the skin of my teeth. It barely hung on as I kept frantically looking around, hoping for the few scraps of burning memory of mine to find a familiar sight that would lead me to salvation. The gates must be closed by now. The last few barely making it. The rest of us never stood a chance. Suddenly, from a blind spot, a figure struck me. There was no time to react before I came crashing down onto the cold, hard ground. I struggled to regain my senses to at least see what fate would befall me in my final moments, but even in this abyss of endless terror, my mind could never have imagined the horror I witnessed. Smash. Oof, ouch, it stings. Who are you? Are you okay? Fidget nervously and sweat profusely. Oh great, I just got hit and ran by a vibrating fountain. Just my luck. At least you can help me up before the rest of you gets melted by the sun or jackhammers itself onto the earth's mantle.
Oh, Gainsy.
So I laughed so hard my ribs are hurting now. Alright. Hey, sorry about being rude like that. I'm just really frustrated that I'm not only late for school, but also managed to get lost on the way there. Though, by the looks of it, you're pretty much on the same boat, and by a stroke of once-in-a-lifetime luck, you just happened to bump into the prettiest girl in town.
Yeah, I don't think she's the prettiest girl in town.
She is! So, how about you lead the way and get us both... And get both of us out of this jam. Actually, I'm lost. I don't wanna. I don't go to school!
Selected.
I don't go to school. Bullcrap! Cut the crap. I can see your crusty ass uniform, and no living person would dare to go out looking like a filled trash bag by choice. Though, considering how little activity there actually is inside your skull, I'm willing to admit you're sure as heck. It don't seem like you've ever been to school. I don't go to school. I don't wanna. What? The frick you mean don't wanna? If you don't show me the way, then you're never arriving either. Or did that thought not even cross your crayon-fed brain cavity? Actually, I'm lost too. Just my luck. Though, in retrospect, I guess you couldn't be here with me right now if you weren't lost as well. Oh well, no point in crying over spilled blood. We might as well just wait for another student to come by and follow them instead. I'm Mirage. Don't bother telling me your name, though. I don't really care. You could do with being a bit nicer to people you've only just met. Just waiting here won't get us anywhere. We should be looking for a way. Yeah, well you could do with a beatdown, so frick off. But yes, you're right. I don't really care about what you...
I'm gonna grab something to eat because this is about to get interesting.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay, hang on. Ah, fuck, I don't have any
I'll
popcorn.
be right back. Ugh.
The grape juice, the grape juice, the legendary
I
bottle
can't hear you. I'm
of
turning
grape
on the light
juice.
in my room. Ugh. Imagine if my parents come in. Why are you playing a robot dating simulator, Louis?
Machine, what the fuck are you
Machine!
doing?
Machine! Why are you an anime girl?
Machine, why are you playing Doki Doki Literature Club instead of staying with me?
Okay, you have something to eat? You got something?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a block of cheese.
But yes, you're right. I don't really care about what you or anyone else thinks of me. So I'm not interested in trying to be nice, so you'll be in a good mood. Why not if we're stuck in here together? Why not if we're stuck in here together anyway? What's the point of making it worse for both of us? I find that hard to believe considering how heated up you get from practically anything I say. Hmm.
Annoy her, annoy her, annoy her.
Annoy. Don't flatter yourself. Blowing off steam is just how I cope. Cope! Seethe! Mauled! That's a skill issue! Cope with what? Everything. I mean, really, take a moment to think about it. So the human mind, in its complete vastness, is capable of recognizing its utter helplessness and uselessness in the face of inevitable and unavoidable non-existence, but is incapable of coming to terms with it. We can only ever ignore it, hide from it, or temporarily escape it. But the fact is that we are bound to the way of all things. Um, Death is unavoidable, not only to us, but to all that exists or ever has existed. Every living being will eventually die out. Every speck of matter will eventually wither away and dissipate into entropy. It doesn't matter if you lived a good life or if you left a legacy behind. It doesn't matter if humanity survives for 1,000 years or dies out tomorrow. The end result is the same, the absolute nothing. Human intelligence is far beyond that of other animals, but it would be misguided to consider that a gift. All other beings have the gift of ignorance, of not understanding what we do. Our intelligence is not a gift, it's a flaw. It's an overextension of evolution. Intelligence, once a great feature in eons past, continued to grow unchecked and unfiltered, and has since passed a threshold whereupon it is no longer a benefit, but an active danger to its host. Much like the Irish elk, a species of deer that, through uncountable generations of evolution, grew antlers so wide and vast that it could no longer run from predators, eventually leading to extinction. The human mind is an evolutionary maladaptation caused by going too far in a direction that was once beneficial, and will, sooner or later, lead to our extinction. Or, on an individual level, it's already happening. Existential dread is already taking hold. I'm sure you've felt it too. The pain and fear of being nothing, becoming nothing. The suffering of understanding that we are unable to come to terms with it, so we hide it from our own so we hide from our own intelligence. We set we set limits. We stop ourselves from thinking deeply about what will happen when we die. We create distractions. We keep our minds busy with mundane activities and entertainment to stop ourselves from having to come face to face with the truth. We sublimate it. We transform our self-reflective stuttering into another form, art, to keep it from consuming us. Anything to avoid the panic. But these worries are all simply temporary. They're just there to push back the inevitable veil of helplessness and despair that would encompass and ruin us. In the end, nothing matters. There's no point in trying to find a joy in life, for life, in and of itself, is suffering. You're wrong.
You're wrong!
Huh? You criticize those who consider our vast intelligence a gift, and yet also misguide yourself to believe our meaninglessness is a curse. How could it not
Tell
be?
the woman to shut the fuck up!
Nothing we do matters in the end. And that is precisely why we are not shackled by the burden of expectations, the fear of eternal judgment, or the failure to meet up to an arbitrary definition of what makes our limited time not wasted. Time cannot be wasted, for there is no greater purpose to life than simply living it. But still, in that case, the meaninglessness of our actions draws to the same conclusion. There is no reason to act, for any action is simply a temporary fluctuation that will, nevertheless, lead to the same conclusion. Nuh-uh! Quite the contrary.
Nuh-uh.
Because we have no greater purpose, we are free to set our own, to create self-defined goals for which to strive. For some it may be nothing, for some it may be pleasure, for some it may be creation, for some it may be improving the lives of others. It is because we have no greater purpose that time spent on goals set by oneself cannot be time wasted. In the end, nothing matters, and therefore you have no reason not to do what you want, rather than whatever illusion of greater purpose is forced on you by others, or even your own misguided thoughts. I do understand what you mean. However, that doesn't ease my fear of the end. Even if I were to try and find purpose, I would still be paralyzed by the thought of becoming nothing. And it is a thought worth fearing. However, abandoning purpose, hope, choice, goals, pleasure, and will cannot make that thought disappear. The fear, however, can subside.
Okay, hang on.
Yep.
Games.
What?
Pause real quick.
Pause the recording?
Can you please do me a favor and hurry the fuck up and enough
Okay, giving up is not accepting the end. It is simply accepting the fear of it. It is embracing despair rather than facing it. I see. Though as much as I'd like to embrace it, I am nevertheless struck with that paralyzing existential panic. I understand it logically, and I know that there is no reason to live in apathy, but my emotional side refuses to listen. The fear persists, and I cannot motivate myself to seek purpose, despite knowing I must.
Motivate the woman.
We will always love you. We fixed the aspect ratio! Woo! Well, I'll be damned. Guess you got a good head on your shoulders after all. Heck, I'm impressed. Man, I feel like I've just shed the weight of the world off my back. Or rather, you've done that for me. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You've given me a lot to think about, and while I'm sure I have a long and hard road ahead of me, I'm optimistic. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, I'm optimistic. Say, we're already too late for school, and it's becoming quite clear by now that nobody's going to come lead us there, so how about you and I ditch that passion-draining penitentiary and go get something to eat, eh? Shush. Yeah, sure, I've got nothing better to do today. You're paying, though. Nah, sorry, to be honest, I'm still kinda mad at you for how... There is no nice option. You're paying, woman! Oh, you sneaky... silly. But alright, I do owe you one anyway, so what better time to cash out your... did a nice thing to a girl way out of my league coupon than now, eh?
Hey,
2S, all imperfect love song. That's a W. That nice.
That's a wrap. And that's a wrap. My brother in Christ, you are now certified to play Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh no.